Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I am your host, Hery Acosta. Today, we're going to talk about some players that I believe should be getting more minutes next season with the injury to Halliburton and just overall in the rotation. All going to start with Jarus Walker, the 8th pick in 2023. Personally, I think Jarus Walker is a good player. He had an average of 6.1 points per game and 3.1 rebounds per game last season. Missed a lot of games in the playoffs with an ankle injury, mainly missed the entire finals. But he's a guy that played pretty much double the games he played in his rookie season. A guy that can come in, facilitate your offense as a 3 or a 4. You can play the point guard. He's a tall guy. He's not going to play the point guard, but he is a guy that can dribble. He's a guy that can facilitate, a guy that can set up other players, a guy that can shoot threes, get in, drive. He's pretty much got an all-around game that he's still trying to develop. I think he's going to be very utilized in this offense now, on the most obviously on the bench. But I think he's going to have a high usage rate on the bench, especially coming in with that second unit, because I don't see him falling under the second unit just because he's going into his age 22 season. He's going to be more improved than he was the last few seasons. Definitely improved from his rookie to sophomore season. Probably not as much as Pacers fans wanted him to improve, but he's still young. He's got time. He was very hyped up out of Houston. Obviously, it was with that trade for Bilal Coulibaly. I personally think we came out on top because I do believe that Walker has a higher ceiling. So that's going to be interesting to watch. I think he needs to get more minutes next year. Just kind of test him out, be that guy off the bench, whether he plays the 3, whether he plays the 4. Just put him next to Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell and just pretty much see how that goes. This one, I already know Shepard gets minutes. Shepard is one of the main guys off the bench, and he has been since his rookie season. Pretty much stepped up during the end of his rookie year. Big factor on defense. In my opinion, probably the third best defender that we have on the team behind Nesmith and Nembhard. And even then, he shuts people down. He played pretty well decently well against Brunson. Was a pretty decent defender against Shea. Overall, he has a little bit of, he gets into foul trouble. He can come in and have 2 fouls in the first minute of him playing, which is not really something that you want. But obviously, he was an older rookie when he came in. He was 23 when he got into the league. He is now 25. But he's still building, still getting better. He didn't move around between the Mad Ants and the Pacers like he did in his rookie season. Now he's just mainly focusing on actually playing with the team. And that's good, just because we need that defense off the bench. He can pretty much lock down their best player, but mainly whoever's their best player off the bench. Did a pretty good job against Cleveland. Great job against Milwaukee. He's not a consistent scorer. Like, yes, he is a guy that can get you a 3-pointer whenever. I mean, we've seen him hit from half court. But he's just a good player, good playmaker, very good catch and shoot player, can drive, but still a little bit to develop on his game. So that's something that the Pacers would definitely want to see. Now over to some players who can definitely be breakout candidates for next year. The main one is James Wiseman. I mean, he was the second pick in a draft that featured Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, Obi Toppin, and he was second overall. The Warriors saw something in James Wiseman, watched as he was injured most of his tenure, went to Detroit once again, was injured a lot, was fighting for minutes for another second overall pick that's been labeled a bust in Marvin Bagley. Now he's in Indy. He looked like he was going to be promising last season, tore his Achilles in the first game. But now he's back. He's healthy. Pacers brought him back on a 1-year deal. Who knows? He could develop into an absolute star, which is what he was drafted to be. He was drafted to be a rebounding traditional center, a very good traditional center at that. A guy that should be able to put up 15 to 20 points a game as well as 10 to 12 rebounds, which is kind of what the Pacers need for a center. Now, I think he's going to start on the bench to see how Isaiah Jackson does as a starter, which I think is perfectly fine. And I think that's also how Jay Huff is going to be, who I'm going to talk about next. But I would like to see how Wiseman can develop in that second unit first. And if he starts having a good breakout season, see what he does in the starting lineup. You know, I don't think that this season is lost by any means. I don't think Halliburton being out is pretty much throws the Pacers completely out of the running. Does it hurt? Yes. But also can see what players do we have, what can they do, and how much better of a team can we be once Halliburton actually comes back the season after. So Wiseman is one of those players that I kind of just want to see what he does off the bench, see if he could potentially start soon. But I also feel the exact same way about Jay Huff. He's not as good of a rebounder, of course. He's more of a stretch five. He can definitely get out on the wing, hit threes, but he's also a good shot blocker, which is obviously something that the Pacers like in their center position. I think someone like Jay Huff, who just came off averages of 7 and 2 off the bench in his best season, he's on his 5th team now in 5 years, hasn't truly found his home yet in the NBA. But this is Indiana. Indiana has been one of the land of opportunities in basketball for years. I mean, Oladipo started his career in Orlando, played with Oklahoma, never really broke out. As soon as he got to Indiana, broke out. Sabonis had his season in Oklahoma, then came to Indy, took a few years, broke out. We have seen a lot of players not really get any opportunities somewhere else. They come to Indy. Halliburton did the same thing. Halliburton became an all-star here in Indy. I think Halliburton would have become an all-star too in Sacramento, but he wasn't going to have the true overall point guard experience that he does here because he was playing next to De'Aaron Fox. But I can see someone like Jay Huff coming in off the bench, pretty much averaging 9 and 3 with maybe a block off the bench. So that's something I would want to see. I think he could have his best career year with the Pacers as well, especially if he plays more free. He doesn't have to play behind someone like Jaren Jackson or Zach Edey. He can play next to Wiseman and Jackson, and just to see what he can develop from their game, and same with them. Players like Jackson and Wiseman, they can end up developing a 3-point if all of them get together. Pretty much just, let me help you get better with this. Let me help you get better with this. So that's something I want to see as well. So I'm actually very excited for this season. I want to see what players step up. I want to see what players get more minutes. Just pretty much see who wants to be that next guy up. Just because the Pacers are that team that everybody needs to do their work, especially if they want to make a run in 2025. But as always, I'm your host, Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. Boom, baby, and go, Sirs.